Welcome to More Than Your Infertility podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Dillon Snyder, IVF mindset coach and IVF mom. Just like you, I know the impact riding the emotional roller coaster of infertility has on your life and how easy it is to be consumed by it. And I plan to support you, remind you, and teach you how to be more than your infertility while you're in the wait for your baby. If going through infertility is harder than you thought, taking longer than you thought, and impacting your emotional well-being, you're in the right spot. So no more waiting. Let's get started with this week's episode. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of you might be facing as Easter approaches, navigating another holiday while trying to conceive. As Easter draws near, it's natural to feel a mix of emotions. It's supposed to be a time of joy, celebration, family gatherings, egg hunts, and lots of social media posts of super cute kid photos in their Easter outfits with their Easter baskets. But when you're on the challenging journey of trying to conceive or going through infertility, doing everything you possibly can to try to get pregnant and still waiting for good news, it can feel like walking through a field of emotional landmines. So how do we find peace in the midst of this emotional storm without just shutting ourselves inside for the whole weekend? I'd like to use this episode to give you strategies to do just that. And to finish off today's episode, I have a list of encouragement you will want to be hearing this time of year. So make sure to stay for the end. First and foremost, it's essential to acknowledge and honor how you are feeling. It's okay to feel a pang of jealousy or sadness when you're surrounded by family and friends who are celebrating with their children. Your emotions are valid, all of them, and you're not alone in experiencing them. I promise. One piece of advice I want to offer is to seriously consider whether attending family Easter traditions and obligations is the best choice for you this year. While Easter church services and related events can be a beautiful tradition for many, they can also be triggering for those struggling with infertility. Maybe hearing that skipping it this year is even an option is just what you are looking for. So how do you decide if going or skipping is the right choice? Let's go through the process. Take a piece of paper and write on the left side of it, go, and on the right side, write don't go or skip. Then think about if you go, how will you be feeling before the event? How will you be feeling during the event? And how will you be feeling after the event? Write those all down on the left column under go. Now do the same for if you don't go. How will you be feeling before the event, during it, and after? I did this with a client and I want to share her list so you can see an example. On the go column for the before feelings, she wrote stressed, anxious, keep thinking about all the what ifs at the event. For the during, she wrote down emotional, worried I'll cry at the event, jealous of everyone's happiness, nervous about all the nosy questions, feeling left out of the kid events, the photos, the stories, self-conscious for the weight gain that people might think is a baby bump, just going through the motions and faking the smile. And after, she wrote down exhausted, left out, jealous, drained, like the Debbie Downer in the family. This does not sound like a good time, does it? And we could have stopped there, but I like to truly look at both sides. So here's what she wrote down for the skip side of the page. Oh, and if you're more of a visual learner and listening to this is a little hard, check out my Instagram post for today where I share the visual of my notes from this call so you can see it side by side. So here is her list on the right column under skip. For how she'll feel before the event, nervous about the pressure from family, friends, church people for not being there, bashful that she put up the boundary, embarrassed that she's not strong enough to just push through. During the event, she said a little more relaxed, grateful she can do what she wants and not be around people, and FOMO. And after, she said relief, more energy than if she went, and proud of herself for taking care of her needs. This sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? I recognize the pressure of family and traditions can be strong, and also want to point out that there is no right or wrong answer here. I don't want you thinking that I'm over here suggesting every infertile skip Easter altogether as some sort of mass boycott. Instead, I'm offering you the opportunity to really look into what saying yes may look like for you, and then deciding ahead of time if it's worth it for you. The look from your mother for putting up this boundary might be scary enough to suffer through all of those hard emotions that fell on that go list on the left side of the page. Or more likely, Your mom will understand that if following through on the tradition, just for the sake of the tradition, will impact you in this way, she too would offer for you to sit this one out. In coaching, the power of awareness is where we can make better decisions for our life. So this process we just went through, which took only a few minutes, gives us more awareness, which means you can make the best decision for you. As my clients know, this process also helps you be more happy and confident with your decision, no matter what you pick. It gives you the list to love your reasons so you can move forward with your decision and not hem and haw about the other option. Have you ever had to make the difficult decision to skip a holiday gathering or church service because it felt too overwhelming while trying to conceive? How did you handle it? I would love to hear from you about your experience. So will you DM me on Instagram and let me know? Now, if you decide not to go, don't just sit around your house, sleep, and hide. Make a plan for how you'll use this new free time. It can be your own version of an Easter celebration, or it can be something totally neutral for just a normal weekend day. And if you do decide to attend Easter gatherings or church services, I want to help you prepare so that you can enjoy yourself. One way to do that is to prepare yourself for the nosy questions or comments you might encounter. You know, the when will you have a little one to participate question, or don't wait too long to have a baby, otherwise all the cousins won't be the same age. My trigger plan, which is something all my clients have, has 4 steps and can be used during this Easter weekend. We won't go into too much detail about each one here on the podcast, but I will share the steps with you to prepare for all the nosy questions and unsolicited advice you're sure to get when being social this weekend. Do these 4 things ahead of time to make it sting a little less. Number 1, brainstorm all the questions or comments you'll get. Number 2, get on the same page as your partner. Number 3, prepare the best responses for you. And number 4, practice those responses. We can't control other people, but we can control how we respond or react. Being prepared means that you respond versus react. And it means you can just move along to the rest of the conversation versus being triggered by what was said. What are some of the most common questions you've received about your family planning journey during holiday gatherings that triggered you? How do you respond to them? I'd love to hear from you about it. Another tip to help you survive the Easter holiday events is by having a safe word with your partner that you will use when you've had enough. This allows you to quickly and easily communicate when you've reached your limit and need to leave the gathering or change the subject. Make sure you create a word, share it with your partner, and be clear about what action you want to happen after you say it. For example, do you want to just get a break from the conversation or leave the event altogether? Whether you go to the Easter events or decide to stay home, I encourage you to be gentle with yourself. Going through the uncertainty of infertility is exacerbated during holidays, so it's normal to need a little more kindness and self-care. You can do this by allowing yourself to feel whatever emotions come up, planning ahead by doing this go and skip list, preparing for triggers, or by prioritizing your well-being. Or maybe doing all of the above. And just like I say with all holidays, depending on when you listen to this, in just a matter of time, this holiday will be behind us. You can certainly treat this like a simple normal Sunday. And I promise it won't always be this hard. And because of the way social media algorithms work, it's smart to stay off social for a few days. And for real, I mean a few days. Or otherwise be prepared to see the posts of photos of your friends, your siblings, your cousins, and their babies celebrating the holiday. And in case no one says the thing you wish you could hear to feel seen and validated and also have a little hope, I came up with a few things I wish people said to me when I was in the middle of my IVF cycle and it was Easter as the perfect way to send you off for the weekend. So here they are. I understand that Easter can be a challenging time for you, and I want you to know that I'm here for you. Your feelings are valid, and it's okay to feel whatever emotions come up during this weekend. You're not alone. I'm here to listen and support you in any way I can. I admire your strength and resilience as you navigate this difficult journey. You are so much more than your infertility. It's okay to take a step back and prioritize your emotional well-being this Easter. Your mental health matters. I want you to know that I see you and acknowledge the challenges you're facing. You're doing the best you can, and that's enough. You have a community of people who love and support you, myself included. Lean on us whenever you need to. You are a warrior, and I believe in your ability to overcome any obstacle that come your way. And take time for yourself this Easter, whether that means indulging in self-care activities, spending time with loved ones who understand, or simply allowing yourself to rest. That's it for today's episode, so please know that I'm sending you love, strength, and hope this Easter. Remember that brighter days are ahead, and I'm here to walk alongside you every step of the way. If you're done with feeling like the hard days are getting harder and your life on paper looks better than it feels, then I invite you to schedule a call with me to talk about how coaching can help you and help you right now. And if this was just the episode you needed, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any future episodes of More Than Your Infertility. Thank you for being a part of More Than Your Infertility. If today's episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it on social media or with a friend. Your support helps us reach more women on their infertility journey, empowering them to break free from the grip of infertility shame and rediscover their hope. And before we part ways, I have a small favor to ask. If you've enjoyed the podcast, kindly leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps other women find this empowering community. Until next time, always remember, you are more than your infertility.